Welcome back to another episode of Cape Ann Today. Today, I am speaking with Heidi Wakeman, who is the 2023 Fish Tales Storyteller-in-residence. Fish Tales is a local storytelling program run through the Gloucester Writers Center. Heidi will introduce the next Fish Tales production. This one has a loaded theme to which everyone can relate. Hi, Heidi.
Hi, Heather. How are you?
Good, thank you. So Heidi, first, let's start with you telling us what it means to be a storyteller in residence and why you are qualified.
Well, I love that question. And I will say to be a storyteller in residence at the Gloucester Writers Center means you are responsible for nurturing a new group of storytellers for the Fish Tales show. So my job is to work with local community and a wonderful organizer, Jennifer Brown, the executive director, Henry Farini, and previous storytellers in residence who have helped me with the details and minutia of the job. What qualifies me is I wanted to do it. So having an interest expressed helps. And it looked like a lot of fun. I told my first story in 2021, and it was at the North Shore Arts Association. And it was great fun to prepare a story and then to share it with a live audience. It was the first in-person event after COVID.
And what was the theme?
The theme was boundaries.
And what can you tell us just a summary of your story about that?
My story for boundaries was about a high school teacher who did not accept a paper that I wrote. And I had to make a decision. Do I stick with the paper and get an F, or do I follow her lead and pass the class? I was a senior and I chose the F. So I was a writer with conscience and an independent thinker even back then.
Yeah, very brave. So Heidi, what do you think makes a good story?
Well, having told a few and listened to many, I think a good story is both personal and universal. So the storyteller might have very little in common with me or you or the majority of the audience in some ways. And yet, if there's a universality of experience, then somebody can relate to it. We focus on brevity. So part of the craft of Fish Tales is a 5-minute story. So we all know some stories go on long, and some of us like to talk more than others. And so to practice telling your story, beginning, middle, and end, without a saccharine wrap-up or without a universal message of, and that's why you should always do this, or, that's what they say, that's what makes a good story. Of course, laughter and tears and emotional response helps too.
So you may have answered this question in that part, but I'm going to ask it again. So what's easy and what's hard about telling a good story? Brevity is certainly hard.
I agree. So to me, and I will say for some of our storytellers that have been participating in the workshops that the Gloucester Writers Center offers, they write a story and they think they are memorizing it. Memorizing a written story is a different practice. It's not the same as a monologue, although there are qualities that are the same. So to me, what's hard can be the time amount, getting in the important information, leaving out the superfluous. Accepting that it's going to be good enough. Not every story's the best story, but it's your story and it's your original to you. So balancing those things, the universality, the personal aspect, and keeping it tidy and neat in a short amount of time. I would say those are some of the challenges. And then what's easy about telling a story is people pay to come and hear you. So they want to listen, and they want to hear what you have to say. We have been blessed with sold out shows and supportive audiences. So even when there's beginners on stage, or when people stumble or forget or tear up, people are right there with you. And so to me, one of the easy things is to have people that want to hear what you have to say.
So how do you choose the storytellers for each program?
So we often have more storytellers than spaces. We want to keep the audience wanting more. So we curate and design a story roster of about 8 to 10 storytellers. And I like to have a blend of experienced and beginners, because I think people need an opportunity to grow. People have come up to me after Fishtails and said, "Hey, I want to do that." And then I say, get in touch with me through the Gloucester Writers Center or through Facebook. I have put out a call for the last 2 shows that I've curated, and some people who I thought would be natural storytellers have said, no, thank you. And some people have just emerged from Instagram and said, I want to do this, and I think I have a good story to tell. So word of mouth. I think you'll see some familiar places or faces in this next show, people who have been performers and community figures, and then you'll meet some newcomers, which I think is a great blend.
Okay, so let's move on to the show. Tell us what the theme is.
So this month's theme is moms, and the show is on Saturday night before Mother's Day. And I figured that moms is a theme that we can talk about or tell stories from multiple perspectives.
And forever.
And forever. Exactly. And there's opportunity for funny, serious, painful. I can't wait. I can't wait to hear all the stories.
So, and you have not heard the stories in advance usually, right?
That is correct. So when people ask me to participate, I ask them to pitch their story. I want a few words. Tell me about your story. And that will determine the order, who begins, who wraps it up. And we will have a dress rehearsal. So that's when I will be hearing the stories the first time.
So, and can you tell us who the storytellers are?
I can tell you, I believe I can tell you with almost 100% certainty. We have Gordy Baird, Rick Gadboys, myself, Caitlin Featherstone, Linda Burke, Dawn Epstein, Nancy Quant, Nick Anderson, and I think that's it.
That's a big show though, right?
It's a big show. It's a big show. And I think every story will be something unique. And as I said, I'm excited.
Yeah, that's a great list. A great list. So it's the Saturday before Mother's Day.
Mm-hmm.
And how can people get tickets and learn more about Fishtails?
So to learn more about Fishtails, head to gloucesterwriterscenter.org, and you can buy tickets there. The show is at Gloucester Stage Company, so it's a great partnership between these 2 important organizations in Gloucester, and tickets are going fast. They are $25 a piece. Proceeds go to keep Gloucester Writers Center afloat, and also to continue providing low-cost, free workshops and groups for the community, both online and in person. Right. So I'm excited to see you there.
Yeah, I will be there. So do you want to sort of tease out what the following Fishtails will be?
Well, this will be my final show as Storyteller-in-residence. So I stepped in, and Gab Watling from Endicott College handed me the hook, and we have a surprise announcement, which is again about 90% sure of who the storyteller in residence will be. So we do like to announce it at the show. There's a passing of a giant fish hook, and my themes have been connected to holidays because the first show was Fools, the night before April Fool's Day, and then this was Moms. There could be any number of themes, and I think the challenge or the exciting prospect is, how do people interpret these themes? So the next themes will be up to the next Storytellers in Residence, and our next shows will not be until the fall, October and December. So we're looking at a little bit of a dry spell after Mothers or Moms. And so hopefully we'll be announcing and passing on the hook on Saturday night.
Very exciting. Very exciting. Well, thank you so much, Heidi, for everything, and good luck with your last show. And thank you for doing this.
Well, you are welcome. And I just want to say that to me, storytelling is not just about the storyteller, but about listening to stories. Because when you are in the audience and when you are not just paying, but paying attention, you are joining in relationship with people. And I believe now more than ever that we need to listen to each other with the same energy that we want to be heard. So thank you.
Nicely said. Interested in a sponsorship? Email sponsor@1623studios.org to learn more.